to the revolution of love, to the rebellion, to our refusal to accept this new age of tyranny, where not just women are in danger, but all marginalized people, where being uniquely different right now might truly be considered a crime.
This is Before I Vote for You. Let's take a sneak peek.
I am running for President of the United States.
Everyone is going to vote for Hillary. Yay, Hillary! Like a small boat.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next President of the United States, Donald Trump.
It is time for us to come together as one united people.
That's what the country needs. A sense of unity, a sense of inclusion, a respect for our institutions, our way of life, rule of law, and a respect for each other.
Are you either here legally, or is Trump going to have you build that wall?
We have a racist in the White House.
Politicians and systematic forces have capitalized on wedge issues to divide voters, even though we share so many core values. And we all want peace, community, food and shelter, truth, freedom, opportunity. And as Americans, we share even deeper cultural values like the right to freedom of expression, democracy, and a just rule of law.
Donald Trump was probably one of the best things that happened to this country. We believed that we were a lot further than we are. We stopped participating. The everyday citizen just fell asleep at the wheel. You start to think your vote didn't count or your voice wasn't going to be heard, so you just kind of fell out of it. And now we see what happens. I've never seen such division.
I don't want my tax money to go to fund these scams. People are being treated unfairly and inhumanely.
And it's happening on our land, and we're really upset about it.
We have an ongoing fight over how we want to handle our border policy.
They tell these children their parents don't love them. They tell the parents their children are dead. Close down these camps, reunite these children.
The Republicans don't care.
This is a human rights issue.
I frankly think that some Republicans, many, would care if they were better informed.
Absolutely.
It's life and death.
We all asked, how did Germany happen?
It is through human dedication and effort that we move forward.
This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Immigrants are welcome here. I can't breathe. Black lives matter here. Stay with me. George Floyd. Stay with me. George Floyd.
I'm trying to express my heartfelt pain that you feel to know that we are one nation, one city, and one community.
When somebody's a wall, a stone in front of you, two stones are not going to make this work. I mentioned the relationship with Gorbachev and Reagan. That movement changed the trajectory of the world. So how do you melt another individual? How do you bring another one from a stone to be something that you can actually be malleable, that you can work with? And the answer is, damn it, it's all on you. So you have a choice. You can say it's tough. I get it, it's tough. But I don't give a damn that it's tough. I want it to work. If somebody wants a relationship to work, they have to own doing the tough stuff. Your willingness and ability to lead with vulnerability and your service and generosity in the face of a stone is your capacity to change. That's your power. But underneath all of it is we love each other. We care. We're vulnerable. And we're empathetic when another person is struggling.
Please listen to my heart. We need to show these kids that we can grow through our pain together. You understand my part in that? To celebrate your frustration, to be angry, to be upset. I can't breathe.
The fundamental right to vote has been undermined. Did you know that the number of people who lost their right to vote was more than the margin that determined the outcome of the last presidential election?
We're talking today about the notion of abortion. Somehow, still, after all this time, we're wrestling over something that is, in fact, legal.
We've made a lot of strides over the years, and now it feels like we're really going backwards.
If you look at any poll, folks overwhelmingly believe that women should have access to full reproductive health care.
Next thing you know, they'll be taking away our right to vote.
New laws that are trying to be passed in our country that are so pro-life, but then guns are legal and there's all of these school shootings, and how come there's not the same attention on life that's already here?
Today is the 19th anniversary of the Columbine Massacre. If you thought protests about gun violence were done, think again. Do you guys ever get afraid that it'll happen in your school?
All the time.
When we turn 18, we can go buy a semi-automatic rifle, but we can't buy beer.
They really are more fearful of their donors than their actual constituents.
We are the future. We are the ones that are going to be here 20 years from now if we don't get shot.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! George Floyd! Not what all for! Not what all for!
So is the swamp draining or is it filling up? People are getting confused at this point.
Well, I think maybe we've got a restart in the swamp draining.
The president cannot violate the law. President Trump has committed obstruction of justice. We've got the attorney general who committed perjury. We've got the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who made false official statements on his security clearance form. The disrespect for the rule of law in the Trump administration is shocking.
It's our time to tell our elected officials to do their job, that we will not tolerate chaos, ineptitude, and warmongering.
That's what we do!
Tell me how this presidency could possibly affect your rights and your future.
In every way possible. As a marginalized person, it's like there's no end to this. Voting rights were never equal to begin with. The fact that people might feel inclined to not vote is not surprising.
I'm here because it's my responsibility, because I can't complain if I don't do anything.
We moved here from Britain and we've always been so excited about this country that makes me really teary, and to see it kind of, tarnished like that with all the things that don't really stand for the spirit of the country. I mean, it's hard because the press is just so divided, and people living in different parts of America are getting different stories. We need to have a more balanced press then, so we can get a better understanding of the country as a whole and not just be servicing what we already believe.
Can you tell me how his presidency will affect the rights of the LGBTQ community?
The right-wing Senate, House of Representatives, open Supreme Court position, and the most anti-LGBT platform, all of our rights are at stake. Not just us, marginalized groups, every single person. This is our democracy and we're going to defend it.
In history, groups of people were always designated as other. And once you have people designated as other, that is, that they are the reason for your lot in life, then it's a very short jump between otherness and dehumanization. And that's where real trouble, that's where Nazi Germany shows up, that's where ISIS shows up, that's where all of that insanity shows up. And so to pull back from that abyss and realize that it's not about an otherness, we are all one.
Today, we plant the seeds that will create a landscape that our children will not only survive in, but thrive in.
Not one, all for. Not one, all for.
Our nation is divided. Families and friendships are being ripped apart, people vowing never to speak again, blocking each other on social media. What I've learned within my own conflicted family is that the minute you invalidate another person's opinion, it's a form of dehumanization. If you're only associating with people like you, people who threaten you the least, you're excluding almost the entire world.
Are you ready to shake up the world?
It is through human dedication and effort that we move forward. We only move forward when it doesn't cost us anything. No one and nothing can be great unless it costs you something. every single day, your job as an American citizen is not just to fight for your rights. It's to fight for the right of every individual that is taking a breath, whose heart is pumping and breathing.
I think Trump is the alarm clock. The divisiveness in his rhetoric has galvanized people. People that wouldn't normally talk, they'd be like, oh, that's an immigrant issue. Oh, well, that's a black issue. Oh, that's a gay issue. Oh, that's a Muslim issue. Now all those groups of people are now talking. Those people are now coming together and having relationships.
An upstander is just how it sounds. Someone who sees something unjust and wrong and stands up to do something and make it right. Well, today we're not just standing up, we're marching. And when you get a bunch of upstanders together, my friends, that's called a movement.
We are living through an extraordinary moment, a moment of profound social change, and we cannot afford to let up for one single minute.
The women continue to give us the power, and it's with women that we will take back this country.
Broken right now. For those of us who are in the middle of the fight, this is when we need to dig our heels in, and this is when we need to stay committed. So I dedicate this song to all of you out here. This song is called Rise Up.
On broken glass, and I'm gonna make that ceiling crash.